Hey guys, Brad the Buff. I got my buff in my head and I'm ready to go. Today I'm going to do a review on the super ultralight setup that I used just a weekend ago. I did a previous video on what exactly is in the setup, but I wanted to let you know how it went in this video. So my first big takeaway is I was really no worse for wear for being in the super ultralight category. That's 5 pounds or less. My setup is exactly almost 5 pounds on the nose. So I'm just going to quickly go through. I did a video videos ago saying exactly what's in here, but water bottle. I've got my tarp with I got one pole in here. And I got a few tent stakes, they're titanium. I've got my pad. This is the pad that I used to sleep on. I've got my titanium spoon. I've got a 3-liter water holder to filter with. I've got my buck bag. I've got another little cup here. This I probably I didn't need to take. I got my Sawyer squeeze filter. I had this I didn't start off wearing, so I counted this as packed weight, but it's my long sleeve shirt, it's my extra shirt. I brought one pair of extra underwear and I brought one pair of extra socks. Just something I could keep dry. My typical ditty bag that's got, you know, my headlamp in it, my lighter and that kind of stuff. My first aid kit. My Z-Packs 40 degree quilt. My Z-Packs inflatable pillow. I brought a ground cloth in case I had to use my tarp, and then my Z-Packs Nero. So the 5 pounds is just your gear. That's not including your water, that's not including your food, and that's not including any of your fuel. And I didn't carry any of those things. But like I said, I came in at 5 pounds. I ended up getting a shelter all the nights. That's one reason I felt really comfortable with my tarp, even though it was supposed to rain. I wasn't expecting to use it. I also use this as a pack liner. The main thing was not bringing an inflatable pad. That's something I'm real accustomed to. And I just folded this out at and I had it doubled over. And then I put my sleeping bag underneath of it like this, and slept on just for that a little bit of extra padding around my shoulder, so I had the padding for my sleeping bag. To be honest with you, the first night I slept in a tent with it like this, I was actually more comfortable in the tent, I think because the ground was a little bit softer below me with a thinner pad. I slept just fine. The next night I was a little bit more uncomfortable because my this pad would kind of shift around on the floor. The biggest thing I noticed honestly was that I had to search around for exactly where this was on the floor, because you can't exactly feel it like you can an inflatable pad where the edges are, so you don't exactly know when you're on it. It was warm enough that I didn't really need a whole bunch of extra warm clothes. I didn't bring a rain jacket even though it rained, but luckily once again it was in like the high 50s, low 60s at the worst with the rain. Even in the evening I don't think it ever got below the mid 50s, and so I could just take my quilt and kind of drape around me. I was very comfortable in it. That being said, I don't know if it's something I would do all the time. You know, adding 2 to 3 pounds for me would get me back to max comfort. One change that I would make is, since I didn't bring my rain jacket, I should have brought my rain quilt. I didn't really think about it until I was out on the trail. This is only about 3 ounces. And I don't really care if my shirt gets wet. That's not uncomfortable to me. Because you know, a lot of times even when I'm hiking during the day, I'll take it and rinse it in the river anyways, just to get some of the stink out. But I would have liked to have brought the skirt just to keep all my nethers dry, or my shorts dry. I hate when my shorts get soaked and they're sticking to my legs as I'm moving, that feeling of like sifting around as they're rubbing up against you. So I would have brought this, and I could have afforded the 3 ounces to get up to that 5. I probably would have dropped my water bottle. But this is what I should have taken instead. I wouldn't have got overheated in it. And so I did learn that, and in thinking about my gear, and I really do underutilize this rain quilt in the summer. So it made me feel very comfortable to not have my rain jacket. The main thing I really learned by using this setup is that I'm gonna be fine for a few nights without my inflatable pad. If my inflatable pad pops a hole in it or something happens, I'm gonna sleep just fine with this. Maybe not quite as well, and I might wake up a little bit different, but I'm no worse for wear. So what it really did is it made me very comfortable and not worried about if something happens to my inflatable pad, that I shouldn't be so freaked out about it, that it is a comfort thing to have, it's not essential, and that this pad will get me through the night if need be. And like I said, the other big thing I learned is that I don't really need a rain jacket if the temperatures are warm enough. I would have been just as fine, if not better off, with my rain kilt. And so this is a piece of gear that I would have brought. So I might be able to save myself those ounces in warm weather just by bringing my rain quilt as opposed to my rain jacket. I can save 5-6 ounces right there by moving up. It would be awfully hard. I mean, one thing is this is a super tight setup for me. I don't know how you get that much lighter. I don't see how you can get really much of an inflatable pad. I mean, you could use the Uber light, which I have an Uber light. That's still 9 ounces. I don't know exactly what piece of gear I'm getting rid of to fit that in here. Same goes for bringing any kind of tent. I have a Z-Pax Altiplex. That's about as light a tent as you're gonna get. And what I would have to get rid of to get that fit into here, I'm not exactly sure what I could cut. So maybe if I didn't bring an extra shirt, that could help, but I really like bringing this. This is like maybe 8 ounces, and it's my in-camp shirt, and I use it kind of as my dry shirt for when I get in. I love having this. So I don't know if I can really, this is something that'd be very difficult for me to go without. The only other thing that I could really think of is my quilt is a 40-degree quilt, but it's also an extra large and extra wide. I'm about 6'2". I'm not exactly a small person. So because of that, every piece of gear I have in general weighs a little bit more for me, 2 to 3 ounces more than it does for someone that maybe can get away with a medium or a large. I'm an extra large, just about everything. So there's 2 to 3 ounces per item like that. I would be about 3 to 4 ounces lighter in my quilt if I just had a regular size and not a wide. And so I'd save a few ounces there, but that is what I ended up taking. Trip went super well. I have no fear of using this for very short periods of time. There's a trip I'm looking at doing that's kind of long, that has shelters along the way, that I might end up with this. If anything, I might just add an inflatable pad in and add my quilt in. And I think I'd be good to go. I think I'd be very happy with that setup. And I'd be with both of those things, they might only add, less than 2 pounds. So I might end up at like 6.5. So in the end, it did teach me to cut down even a little bit more in what I'm comfortable with in warm weather. So I'm glad I learned a lot. And like I said, I was just fine sleeping on this, no worse for wear. So that's my quick review on my super ultralight setup. Maybe I'll try it again and expand it out to 2 or 3 nights and see how that goes, and just kind of see if I can get used to just using this as a pad in the end. So anyways, hope that's a good explanation for you. See you next video. Hey guys, if you like the video you just saw, please subscribe, click the bell so you can get alerted for any new videos that I may do, and check the links below for any information I described in the video. I'll try to put as much there as possible. Thanks for watching.